Lugere Yediga Sata Yuki Lekamu Dibio Sojachi Chaku Titiariha Ludai Teta Akamu the Yetiwara Today's solution do you mean Padam Yuva? For the rest of the Coco now, most of my network, the South Net, who get the Lady here, not Nigeria. Not Nigeria, so Coco, most of them. So, rather, look here. Yosia, Lumina, Jama. Kujina, dear, give me a little Jama. But he don't cook, come on. And his own job. The Lucia, say time of Shama. Sometimes she did pick on the mayor so let the go up. Say time of Shama. I mean, we from where at time they will take whatever. The word say carry sometimes see, you know. She told it for the other. Good in that dear for the other. Yoli so not see Karak for the sita, Chong Yok, Tabino. A big deal of Jodarosi. Go no take her, don't follow. Just your case, a lady. Came out of it. Joseph came out of it. There are the king of the solution. She not like it. One dollar. There is no bring up. စိတ်ချမ်းသာကိုယ်ချမ်းသာလိုက်လာတော့အဲဒီချမ်းသာဟာစိတ်ထိတ်အာယုန်နဲ့မြင်ကြရနာရဆရာကြည့်ရတာတဲ့အဲဒီချမ်းသာကပို့ပြီးတော့လေးလေးနဲ့လည်းရှိပါလေတော့မပြည့်နေတဲ့ချမ်းသာမျိုးအဲဒီချမ်းသာကြီးအစရလာပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ကိုလို့ဖြစ်တာသုံးပါလို့ပြောစရာကြဲစရာကင်းတဲ့ကြဲအောင်ကြိုးစားမှုတွေနောက်ပိုင်းကလိုက်လာတော့တာကြိုးစားတဲ့အခါမှာလည်းပဲပောဝတ္တနာကိုတက္ကစ္စကရိယာဆိုယူတည်တည်လုပ်တဲ့ကတော့ယူတည်တည်လုပ်ပါရဲ့ဒါပေမဲ့ယန္နာပြတ်ချပြီးတော့သတိရထားလို့လည်းတတိယကဆိုလည်းဒီတိုင်းနေလည်းဟုတ်ဘူးစက်တိုက်လို့အကျိုးရှိတဲ့အရာဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လိုအပ်တဲ့စွမ်းအားတွေအကောင့်ထဲပေါ်တဲ့အကြည့်ပေါ်လေစက်တိုက်လို့ပေါ်တယ်သူကတော့ခုလည်းမရမနေရဘူးအဲ့ဒါလည်းအရေးကြီးပါတယ်အဲ့ဒါဒီနေ့စက်တိုက်မရမလားလုပ်ပုံလေးတွေရှင်းလင်းတင်ပြပါမယ်ဒီလိုမရမနာလို့ရှင်းချက်တရှင်းတဲ့စိတ်ကလေးကြီးတရှင်းတဲ့ကုလစိတ်ဓာတ်ပြုမလေးကြီးထူးထူးခြားခြားကိုပြည့်လာတဲ့အခါမှာဒီအလုပ်ကတည်းဟုတ်ပါလားဆိုတော့လေလက်ခံလာတာပဲအဲ့ဒီလက်ခံလာတာတတ်တာတရားပဲ
In previous days, Sayadawgyi spoke about faith and confidence, sada, the acknowledgement of faith which acknowledges that something is right. This is very important for every person to possess this quality of faith. And this means that it's very valuable for everyone, regardless of what religion they may be. Why this is because people nowadays are not able to control themselves, and they attack others. They try to dominate others. And this comes about because they are not able to control themselves. What is involved is not seeing that to dominate or to attack or violate others, to commit violence against others is disgusting and despicable. One doesn't see that. And secondly, one doesn't have any feeling for how other people may feel when this happens to them. So because of those two causes, people turn to violence. And this happens because their minds are not straightforward. Their minds are not upright. And this is because, to begin with, they don't set out to make their mind upright and straightforward. They just let it go the way it wants to go. And if one sets out to have a straightforward mind, if one decides that I'm going to try to make my mind upright, then it will follow that one will one will see how committing wrong against others is despicable, and one will also come to have a feeling for how others feel, sympathy or empathy. With wise consideration, yoniso manasikara, if one tries to be free of fault, if one tries to make one's physical, verbal, and mental behaviors free of fault, then this will happen. To the extent that one makes effort in this, one's behavior on all three levels will become pure and free of criticism, free of fault. And when it becomes like this, when our behavior is like this, then we become satisfied and happy. Following this, both physical and mental happiness will come. And following this, there is a better happiness, a happiness that is so good that it's better than any type of sense experience we can have. And it is a type of happiness that is always good. One never wants to let it go. So when one starts to experience this type of happiness, then one will try even harder to make one's body, speech, and mind even more pure. And one will do so with respect. One needs to do so with respect. And if one, for the task of doing this, it's not enough, though, simply to do the work respectfully, because if one only works from time to time, if one stops and starts, then also this is not good. So the work not only needs to be done with respect for the task, but also it should be done continuously. So if the work is beneficial, if it brings about good results, then we should do it continuously until these results come about, until they materialize. So today Sayadawgyi will speak about how to work continuously and how by working continuously, when all three, one's body, speech, and mind, become pure in a very special way, one comes to acceptance of what one is doing. One comes to realize this is true. This is the true way. And this feeling of acknowledgement that it is true, this is faith. If selfish greed, just wanting for oneself, is extreme, and if one has no wish for other people's welfare, that is metta, no compassion, that is karuna, and no ability to reflect on one's actions, then one is as though stupid and blind. And it's like being in the dark. One can't see. When people are in the dark, people who are in the dark, they can't see the way and they can't see the limit, the edge. So if one has no morality and no sympathy, no feeling for how others feel, then one will turn to harming others. And when we harm another person, it causes them mental and physical suffering, and one's own world is being destroyed by one's actions. The destruction of the world happens on an individual level when people are immoral. This type of destruction is worse than any bomb. It's worse than the hydrogen bomb or the atom bomb, because these can just destroy part of the world. But immoral behavior is something that is spread all over the world these days. And the root cause of it is not being ashamed or afraid to harm other people, and not having any feeling for how another person feels, and no ability to keep one's mind upright, no ability to consider wisely with yoniso manasikara. And this is why people are cruel. In democratic countries, they establish laws. And better than being afraid of prosecution under the law is to be afraid of being at fault regarding one's behavior. There are 5 precepts, and these are a moral code which every person should keep. Not to kill, not to steal, not to commit adultery or to harm people sexually, not to lie, not to take drugs and intoxicants. And these things, these are actions which we should avoid due to a moral shame and moral fear about doing these types of things, or because one doesn't want to harm others, because one knows how it would feel to be harmed. If only half of the world would keep the 5 precepts, the world would be very peaceful. The most important basis for world peace to come about is the 5 precepts.
ကျိုးလို့ကြာတဲ့ကြုံကြည့်ကြအောင်တော့မှစိတ်နဲ့ပါရှောင်နိုင်တယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ပို့ပြီးတော့ကောင်းတော့စိတ်ထားလေးတွေပို့ပြီးတော့ရှင်းသွားတယ်စိတ်နဲ့စိတ်ထားလေးရှင်းပြီးတော့အစိတ်မြင့်တက်သွားတယ်ဆိုတော့စိတ်ကောင်းတာပဲတော့မှအဲ့ဒါလိုဖြစ်ဖို့ဆိုတာကတော့ရိုးရိုးဒီမောက်ရတာတရားလည်းပွားနိုင်တယ်ဒီလိုတတိပ္ပံဘာဝနာတရားတွေလည်းပဲပွားနိုင်တယ်ပေါ့လေပွားလို့မေတ္တာလေးကရုဏာလေးမုဒိတာလေးအားကောင်းပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ကိုယ်နဲ့တတ်ရှင်ဖြတ်ရှင်တဲ့စိတ်ဒီနေ့ပစ္စည်းပိုက်ရှိခြင်းတဲ့စိတ်ကာမကောင်းခြင်းတဲ့စိတ်လေရင်ရခြင်းတဲ့စိတ်ဝိရှိဝတ်လို့တဲ့မိုင်မဲတဲ့လမ်းကြောင်းတွန်းပြေဟာပေါ်လေးအဲ့ဒါတွေမရှိနိုင်ပါဘူးစိတ်နဲ့တော့မှမရှိပြမတော့မရှိဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်သိကောင်းတော့အဲ့ဒါကြတော့ဘာဝနာကတတ်နိုင်တာတဲ့စိတ်ထားလေးတွေတန်ရှင်းအောင်အားဖြည့်ပေးပါတဲ့
Although one is a human being, if one doesn't keep the 5 precepts, not knowing the benefits of keeping them, not knowing the faults of breaking them, then there will always be transgression. And as long as there is transgression, harm against others, as long as there is no control, all that time, although a person is in human form, they can't be said to be truly human. And the world is being overwhelmed by people like this. If one keeps the 5 precepts, it's a very, very good foundation. It makes us a true human. But there's still a need to keep our mind humane, to keep a humane mental attitude. Because from time to time, greed or anger or confusion, lobha, dosa, moha, from time to time they become extreme. And when they become extreme, one can break one's morality, one can do wrong. So in order to keep this extreme greed, hatred, delusion from occurring, or if it does occur, to make it easy to dispel, we have to build up our mental energy. If we have mental energy, then we are able to keep the mind with a good mental attitude, and our mind will become even better, more clean. So for this, to do this, we can either develop what are called the Brahma Viharas, or we can develop the practice of Satipatthana. And if we develop these so that our metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha, our wish for others' welfare, compassion, our joy when others feel happy, and our equanimity, when these become strong, then the mind which wants to kill or to harm, the mind which wants to take that which doesn't belong to us, the mind which wants to transgress sexually, the mind which wants to lie for one's own benefit, the mind which wants to indulge in drugs and intoxicants which help to push us along the wrong path. These types of consciousness don't arise when metta, karuna, mudita, and upekkha are strong. And this is very good when these types of mind don't arise. This is what bhavana, or mental development, can do. It can aid us in making the mind pure and clean.
Yato ni thai jin savali. Yato ni thai ni boli. Tera Livio Piatavare Midaga Temio Karuna Temio Buddha Temio Upeka Temio boli, Tonio Piatavare. Any Livio Rega Patma Musa Mita Sura, Truva to Siva Dulara, Truva Komsa Sejina, Jama Sejina, Chanda Sejina, Sazaya, Isu Sejina body. Very sacredly Piniluchi Machina de Toza Chukumiaro Dola Sanya Bebe Mita covered. Tunyamasiya Sejina, Seduka Mio Sejina, Seduka Yola Resolution, Edison Ducarigo, Sunday Nina Kua Pesha Pilura. Era Karuna covered China Muda. Kavaboshi Dudariha, Elu, Metagruna, Taya Varedama. Metagruna, Chief Kanushi. Truva Kaundara will ever go at Chibula. Kulu Fedavogore, Kituna Chamara Chandara, Era Chinala. Truva Kaundara will Lulara Manalo who Kenavo. Kulu Truva Kaundara Genavaro, Munto who Kenavo. Seralete, Gigi, Gavamari, Tiare, say only brother. Two China to Chilla, ya, Kokore, Kau never do Chow never. Macau never do Chow Chira. Era is so amount of video, one and you will low. Kau never take you of one time you will low. Business was hard, let out the car cover it. Business was harder for the day, cheaper. Business was harder to see the fed like all about it, fed like all to see sound whatever. That day, cheaper. Religion liver, Wabon lady body, 6 lady. Tali of she the vegan and nation Jatavara. No so you are Tali, no so attack. You get it Tali. No thing I look forward to the world. No ya attack Tali. She thought to get cheese on ta, live on your tavon. Ta cheese on go. Tali or she did. Millie had no do your tali for ma. Jama Chanda sitting no, you what should be what little sitting. Tali for my meter. No Jalero no Chessa Soro, Nenele to a Jama in Chute. Hey, Dalibo, China, Kruna. No, no, Jale, take a Talia, you are real in a young. Solution, totally she. Eddie Dali, Tia making a 2 year making a road. pure shin, Buddha, Poya, Natali, he very in yoga, Jamalavi, Sadi, what is a little pure shin, Buddha. Kaji Jaro, Sixara, Panti Joga, you are to train his worry. Tang a little river, Midat How with him logo. Nunya little whatever through not how Mularo. Nunya Tali Polo, Purida, you probably Jonia Sevo. Set down the business or Tana, Sixara, Charlie Kito, that I will be covered. Yogi level to the Atocoma solution. That little sick lady, we are a to the Mita, boy about it. Eddie Pimazo, dear Liva, good to feel water, Nina, Sayadaw, water, Nisu, and Nishi, who Yogi water near, good to feel water, Liva. Mita City, Jurishi Taro. They are doing no city, but they feel all the same. There is no city who cargo and the Mita Kulu, Dinya Show, out of there, Kanyuma. Cargo, the power, good to you, the power, that is where.
Everyone, you and me and all people, without regard for religion, without regard for nationality or culture, there's a way, for all people, there's a way to keep the mind good, to keep one's mental attitude good. And this is called the Brahma Viharas. Brahma Vihara means excellent dwelling or an excellent way to live. And there are 4 kinds of meditation that make up the Brahma Viharas. The first is metta, second is karuna, the third is mudita, and the fourth is upekkha. The first, metta, or also called loving kindness meditation. Metta is the wish for others to be well, for them to be happy, for them to be fulfilled in every way. It's this type of goodwill. And if this type of attitude is in our mind, then this is loving kindness, metta. And with this attitude in the mind, then dissatisfaction, anger cannot arise. Metta is the opposite of dosa or anger. Secondly, there's the attitude of not wanting others to suffer. And when seeing others who are suffering, one wants to remove their suffering. One wants to dispel their suffering. This is called karuna, or compassion. The people of the world need to have these qualities of metta and karuna, wanting others' welfare and wanting them not to suffer. And if we do have these 2 attitudes, then when we see that others are well, they have what they need, then one feels happy. One's mind feels joy to see the well-being that others have. Because one is free of envy and jealousy, because of one's metta, that one wants others to be well. So one doesn't feel jealousy when one sees another person in a good situation. This quality is nearly absent in the world. It's almost zero. And the fourth attitude is to understand that being well, being happy, not being well, not being happy, each of these has their causes. These arise due to causes. And understanding this, one doesn't feel sad when one sees others in difficult circumstances. And one also doesn't feel happy when one sees people in good circumstances. One is able to view things with equanimity, with a balanced view. If one doesn't have balance, if one doesn't have the ability to look with equanimity, then one will take sides, one will tend to lean. These four Brahma-viharas, these four qualities, are compared in the text to a mother who has 4 children. And the first, the youngest, is still nursing. The second one is a bit older and has been weaned, though the child is no longer nursing. And the third child, the second oldest, is running around. He's really healthy. And the fourth child is the eldest and capable, can stand on his own, his or her own. So this, in this way, the mother has four children. And the first child, who is nursing, she wants the child to be well, and she wants the child to drink enough milk so that the child will be healthy. So she has the wish for the child's welfare. This is like metta. And the second child, he or she, maybe she, has just been weaned. So the child is a bit sickly, not too healthy yet. And the mother wants the child to be well. She wants the child not to be sickly. And this is like karuna. The third child is running around, playing, and when the mother sees how healthy the child is, she feels happy. This is like mudita. And fourth, the eldest child is able to stand on his own. He can handle himself, he can control himself. And so the mother doesn't need to have any special wish for his welfare. She doesn't have to have the feeling of wanting to remove his suffering. She doesn't have to have the feeling of mudita towards him. She can just let him do what he can do because she's confident. She can just view what he does with equanimity because he's grown up. So yogis who are going to practice should develop these four qualities, especially the quality of metta, loving kindness. There are two ways to develop the Brahma-viharas, and one is as an ordinary, wholesome mind state, and the other is as a jhanic practice in order to develop the absorptions. The yogis do the Brahma-viharas as a way to develop ordinary, wholesome consciousness. And it is done so that as a protection against disturbances that can arise in the practice. So this is all we do when we do the Brahma-viharas. We do it as an ordinary, to develop ordinary wholesomeness as a protection against disturbances to the practice.
Mita Seti Voli, Kutuki Puadalo Sayadaw Puadapu Leshiva Kutuki Pua Sayadaw Pua Edi Mita Seti Lady Kutanama Akao Puadakama Dita they are need say no to tower. Yet they don't have power. The one they don't have a power, Mita say share. Eating that time they don't have a Mita say. Jama Javasi, Chanda Javasi, Saravani. They just need to know the no ear was playing on the power. Sayadaw these are the Lechi, Jauji, Pueka, Saneka, Soneka, Mereka. Talawa Mita say, yeah, and she about it. You could have your water pokuli, edited Mita say, Taya. Dhamma, Mita say her. The Zaina, the sister below only, option of a Mita Ali comment about it. It all over to the Rivita Bavana, the Poare Calavati time. Whoever Zanji Yao, Wavi Melo, Kureva Yotnani, Jojo Seponi, Mamesi and the Boves or Matihu. Mitaye Ayo Poku of Mava, Didi, Poku of Pinyapa. Pukutaro Sabina Ayumava, to get a sheep, Yona Paramati for Mam, Mishiuti Rada. Here I like Wachara. I go to Tibeta, Tamaria, or the gay she Yona Diari, through Kiduki Selima Boni, see outside video, so a shoe video. Say to see me error quachare to error the Mata look over to Aro. Dodo, Mita Tamatagaro, Pogo, Pina Poma. A Tina Machifu. The gay city Matina. A good Poya Poyality, Poyella with a shoe in their kama. The gay she Yonani, Jojo Seponi now Tila. The thing appear on Atuda, Tita Maria, Ella Quachare to her.
Just as one can develop the wish for others' welfare as an ordinary, wholesome mind state, so too it can be developed as a jhanic practice to develop the absorptions. But whether it is done as an absorption practice or as an ordinary, as a practice to develop ordinary wholesomeness, it is said, Tetang Charang Niseno, that it should be done while standing, while walking, while sitting. One should develop the attitude, may they be well, may they be happy, peaceful, may they be well and happy. And also lying, Sayano, when lying on the bed. So in all four postures, the four major postures of sitting, standing, walking, sitting, lying down, and also during the minor things that one does, like when there's a cause to bend or to stretch. When one is developing metta as an ordinary wholesome consciousness, then one always develops this attitude in one's mind. Whatever one is doing, one always has metta and tries to have this attitude of may they be well, may they be well. And when one does this, then one moment of metta and another become continuous, and it becomes very strong. And Satipatthana Bhavana is just like this. So the differences are that metta, when it is done as a jhanic practice, as an absorption, it is not able to know mind and matter, which are related as cause and effect. The object that metta meditation takes is a conceptual object. It is the concept of a person or persons. And the object of satipatthana, the samadhi that gets developed in satipatthana, is gained by observing mind and matter while they happen. So it has as its object mind and matter. So this is how they are different. It is called samatha. Both satipatthana samadhi and jhana samadhi are called samatha. But with the samatha of metta, one is not able to develop knowledge because knowledge is not involved. But with satipatthana, one observes every arising object and one sees how things are related as cause and effect. So knowledge arises. So this is the difference between these practices.
တန်ဖိုးရှိအများများများရနိုင်တဲ့အလုပ်လေးပြောပါတိက္ကသကရိယာရိုးရိုးတည်တည်လုပ်ရတယ်လို့တဲ့စစ်ဆောင်လုပ်ရပါတယ်မရမလားလုပ်ရပါတယ်ဒါသိအရေးကြီးပါတယ်လုပ်တဲ့ခါလဲလုပ်လိုက်နားတဲ့ခါလဲနားလိုက်အားတဲ့ခါလဲအားလိုက်ငေးတဲ့ခါလဲငေးလိုက်တွေးတဲ့ခါလဲတွေးလိုက်စကားပြောရင်လည်းပြောလိုက်ဆိုတာပေါ့လေတက်တောင့်တက်တာနေကြလို့ချင်းတက်တောင့်တက်တာနေလိုက်တော့ဒီလိုပို့ဖို့ဆက်ဆက်လို့တော့မရဘူးရှင်းဆက်မပြတ်ပေါ့လေဒီအမှတ်ကလေးတွေကဓမ္မနဲ့ဓမ္မဆက်ဆက်နေရတာထိုင်တဲ့ခါမှာအမှတ်ကြီးပုံပြဟာတွေဘလို့တော့ဆက်ဆောက်မှရတာထိုင်ရမှာထပြီးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်းပဲထကျင်တဲ့စိတ်ကစပြီးတော့ပေါ့လေအကုန်လုံးစက်တက်လိုက်မှရတယ်တားတဲ့ခါလဲမမရတာရီမမရေကနေပြီးတော့တခါသွားတော့မှဆိုခြေုပ်စိတ်ကပြီးတော့သွားတာဒီသွားတဲ့ခါလည်းမပြတ်မှရမယ်အကြောင်းရှိလို့ရတဲ့ခါမှလည်းရတာလည်းမှရမှာပဲအဲ့ဒီကြားထဲမှာအသေးအဖွဲအမူအရာလေးရှိတယ်ဒီအသေးအဖွဲတွေပေါ်သမျှအကုန်လုံးမှရတာတစ်ဖက်နဲ့တစ်ဖက်ပေါ်ပြီးဆက်ဆက်နေရတယ်ဒါကစွန့်အင်ဆိုတာဖြစ်လာတာပဲတချင်းတဲ့စိတ်လေးတွေကြီးပဲတစ်ခုနဲ့တစ်ခုဆက်ဆက်ပြီးတော့အောက်ဝက်ကောင်းလောက်အားတွေဖြစ်နေလားယန္နာလို့တော့မရပါဘူးဒီတော့အထိုင်စားကိုယ်စားမူရာတွေကိုလူမှလို့ဖြည်းဖြည်းသာလို့ရတယ်လို့ရှိရဖြစ်သွားတဲ့ဟာကိုနှုတ်ကနေတန်းစီပြီးတော့ဖြစ်သွားတဲ့ယုံနာတရားတွေတန်းစီပြီးတော့သွားပြီးတော့နောက်ကလည်းအမှတ်ကလည်းတန်းစီပြီးတော့ပါသွားမယ်အဲ့ဒါကိုသတိကျကရိယာလို့ခေါ်ပါတယ်သတိကျကရိယာရှင်းရှင်းမပြတဲ့အရှင်းမပြရဘူးတဲ့ဓမ္မနဲ့ဓမ္မဆက်ဆက်နေရမယ်တဲ့ပထမမှနဲ့ဒုတိယမှဒုတိယမှနဲ့တတိယမှတတိယမှနဲ့ပထမမှအကြောင်းရှိလို့အရိယဘုရားပြောင်းလို့ရင်ပြောင်းလို့ရမယ်အမှတ်ကတော့မပြောင်းရဘူးတဲ့ကြားထဲမှာမလာရဘူးတဲ့မလက်စီရဘူးမကျဲစီရဘူးဆိုတဲ့အနေနဲ့အဋ္ဌံပြုပြီးတော့လည်းပဲဒါလေးအလုပ်လုပ်ရပါတယ်တိတ်ရေးကြည့်ပါတယ်အဲ့လိုစဉ်းစားမပြဓမ္မနဲ့ဓမ္မဆက်ဆက်အောင်ပြုခြင်းအဖြစ်လည်းပဲတတ္တအစာရှိတဲ့ဣန္ဒြေတွေဖြစ်တာအကောင်းစီနိုင်ပါတယ်အတိညာဖြစ်လာတယ်အတိညာနေဖြစ်လာမှာအတိညာဖြစ်လာလို့ရှိရင်ယုံကြည်လက်ခံလာတော့ပဲ
Work that is valuable and very profitable. Just as it should be done with respect for the task, it should also be done with continuity. If one starts and stops, works then rests, takes time to think or speak or gaze, look here and there, if one just takes it easy from time to time, then that won't be effective. One moment of observation and another should be continuous. One should follow another exactly. So during the sitting, one should try to make one's noting, one's observation, be without a gap, so that one follows another immediately. And when one goes from sitting to standing, also, one should pay attention one should observe each action one makes in the process of going from sitting to standing, so that there's not a gap in between. And when one is standing, then one is about to walk somewhere, and putting the attention on the legs, one walks, all going from one posture to the next. One should try to make one's notings, one's observation as continuous as possible. And when there's other actions that one does, due to causes, bending and stretching and so on, one should also observe, so that one observation and another, one noting and another, are contiguous. And then power will develop. So when the pure mind occurs one after another without a break, then amazing power develops. So it won't work to start and stop. One should move about like a sick person, and one also should try to keep one's mind on what one is doing, so that one's observation occurs continuously. That is called satyajakuriya, working so that there's no gaps in between. So that the first noting is followed by the second is followed by the third, a third noting is followed by a fourth. So one has to make one's notings follow one after another. Although the posture changes, one's observation should not. One should have continuity of observation. And one can make a resolution, may I not have any gaps. One can do this as an aid. So, by working in this way, to work not only respectfully but without a gap in one's observation, this will make the powers, the mental powers starting with faith, strong. That is, when knowledge develops. When knowledge develops, then one's faith will become strengthened and one will come to acceptance. This is a development of one's faith.
အခုညဘက်မှောင်တဲ့အခါရက်ရှိမီးတွေလင်းနေတာရက်ရှိမီးလုံးတက်တက်နဲ့မလင်းနိုင်ပါဘူးသူကြည့်ထားကြည့်ပါဘယ်မှအလင်းမလာနိုင်ပါဘူးဆိုင်ရာဓာတ်ကျိုးနဲ့ရက်ရှိဓာတ်ကျိုးနဲ့ဆက်သွယ်ရပါတယ်အဲဒီရက်ရှိဓာတ်ကျိုးနဲ့မှလည်းဓာတ်ကျိုးတက်တယ်လည်းမရပါဘူးသူကအင်ဂျင်နဲ့တိုင်ကိုကျွိုင်းထားတယ်အဲ့ဒီရတယ်ပဲပတ်လေမှပတ်လေပြီးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အဲ့ဒီတိုင်ကိုနေရနေပြီးတော့ရက်ရှိဓာတ်အားတွေထွက်တော့တာပဲအဲ့ဒီကနေပြီးတော့ဓာတ်ကျိုးမှရက်ရှိဓာတ်အားတွေရှော့ပြီးတော့ဟိုမှာမီးမှသွားပြီးတော့လင်းပါတယ်ခွင်ကြလက်ပတ်နှိုးရလေကောင်းပါလေတိုင်ကိုနဲ့အင်ဂျင်ရလည်းပဲအမြဲတမ်းတွဲနေရပါတယ်အမြဲတမ်းလေပတ်နေရပါတယ် အမြဲတမ်းလည်းပတ်နေလို့ရှိရင်တရားစစ်ကျိုးဟာဆက်သွယ်မှုလည်းရှိနေပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဆရာမကြီးမှသွားပြီးတော့လင်းရတာပါတရားထုတ်တယ်လည်းဒီတိုင်းပဲမြဲတမ်းကိုပဲလေပတ်နေရတယ်။အယုံနဲ့မစိတ်နဲ့အယုံတွေးလိုက်တာနဲ့ပဲမြဲတမ်းအဆက်ချိန်လိုက်ကြပြီးတော့စိုးစိုးမြရှုနေရတာ။ဒါဆိုလေပတ်မှုဒီစိတ်ကနေရှိနေပါမှတရားနေပြီးတော့အကျဉ်းစိတ်ကနေပြီးတော့စီးဆင်းပြီးတော့ပေါ့လေမီးနဲ့ပြူတဲ့အသိဉာဏ်ကြီးပွင့်လင်းနိုင်ပါလေအဲ့ဒါနားလည်ဖို့သိအရေးကြီးပါတယ်အဲ့တော့ယောဂီတွေအထုတ်နေတာဒိုင်နမိုနဲ့ခေါင်းအင်ဂျင်ကတော့ဆက်တွေ့ထားတယ်အပုံမှန်လဲလဲနေတယ်ခလုတ်နှိမ့်တဲ့လားဆိုတော့ဆရာခလုတ်နှိမ့်တဲ့လားဆိုတော့ခလုတ်မနှိမ့်လို့ရှိရင်လည်းတအားမလာဘူးမလင်းဘူးပဲခလုတ်နှိမ့်ရတယ်အများဆုံးပဲမှတ်ကြီးဖြစ်စေမယ်ဆိုတော့သူလိုင်းနဲ့တဲ့အောင်ခလုတ်နှိမ့်တယ်သူလိုင်းကခလုတ်နှိမ့်ရတယ်အဲ့တော့ခလုတ်နှိမ့်ပြီးတော့လိုင်းထဲမှာပြည့်စစ်ကြီးစီးပြီးတော့သွားတယ်လို့ဟောတယ်ပြည့်စစ်တတ်တယ်ဟိုမှာသွားပြီးတော့လင်းမှာပုံမှန်အဲ့ဒါပြည့်စစ်တတ်တယ်မသွားဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်မီးလည်းမလင်းပါဘူး။ငယ်တော့စီးရှင်းနေမှာတော့ဓမ္မရပါတယ်။အဲ့ဒါကိုသတိစတိတကရိယာလို့ခေါ်ပါတယ်။စစ်စစ်မပြတ်ပြည့်စစ်တာကြီးစီးရှင်းနေတယ်လို့တဲ့အမှတ်တရားတစ်ခါလေးစီးရှင်းပြီးတော့တန်းပြီးတော့သွားနေရမယ်။ဓမ္မသိဉာဏ်နဲ့လည်းဖြစ်နိုင်ပါတယ်။အဲ့ဒါနှစ်ဖက်ကကြာမှဆက်ပြီးတော့ပြောပါမယ်။အဲ့ဒီအကြောင်းဟာတတ္တဆရှိတဲ့ဣန္ဒြေထက်ကြောင်းကိုယ်ပါးထဲမှာဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တတိယအကြောင်းပါပဲယူသေးတဲ့အထုတ်မှုနဲ့ဆက်ဆောက်အထုတ်တယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီအကြောင်းနှစ်ခုပြည့်စုံတာနဲ့ပဲလုံလောက်တော့ဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့ဒီကျိုးစားနိုင်ကြပါစေလို့သာဓုနဲ့လက်တွေ့ပေါင်းစပ်ပြီးတော့ပေါ့လေလေးနဲ့တိုက်တွန်းပါလေဒါပါပဲဒီနေ့ရတော့
When we drive in the dark, we use lights. Speaking about how lights are lit up, Sayadawgyi was talking about this, and he was saying that it's not enough just to have the lights. There has to be a wire that connects the generator to the light. And Sayadawgyi's spoken before about how an engine and a dynamo are used to generate electricity and light up light bulbs. So the engine and the dynamo need to be connected, and they're joined. And when the dynamo turns, then it generates electricity, and the electricity travels along a wire, and the light bulb lights up. The engine and the dynamo are connected with a belt, and this belt has to be just right. There always has to be motion happening in order for the electricity to be generated and for the light to be continuously lit. So for the practicing yogis, it is similar to this, that when the object appears, the thing to observe appears, then one has to apply effort and aiming in order to observe it each second of the time. And this is like generating electrical power to turn on the light. So the yogis practicing are like the dynamo and the engine. They have to be, there has to be constant movement. There has to be constant movement. And also, the switch needs to be turned on. So if the switch is turned on, then the pathway will be open for the electricity to travel along the wire and the light to go on. If the electricity doesn't flow, then the light won't go on. And the flowing of the electricity, the way it flows without a break to keep the light on, is compared to how the yogis have to work, satachakirya, that they should be working every second of the time when they're awake. So that only when one's observation is continuous like this without a break will knowledge arise. So Sayadawgyi has been speaking today about the third among the 9 causes for the ruling faculties, starting with faith, to become keen and strong. And he will continue speaking about this tomorrow. If one practices with respect for the practice and with continuity of observation, this is enough to progress. So Sayadawgyi urges all of you to work in this way. That's all for tonight.